Okay, guys, welcome to day number 2 of starting our starter, creating that bread independence. Super exciting. So we have our fabulous paper mache that's right here, right? This is what it looks like in mine right now. Actually, what I want you guys to do is give it a sniff test, which just sounds really odd, but I want you to try to remember what it smells like now, and then in a week from now, how the difference of the smell is going to be. That is because the actual yeast is coming into it. It'll start to smell a little sour or sweet or nutty. I mean, everyone's kitchens is going to be a little bit different, which is interesting to think about, right? That your kitchen's different, so your starter is going to be a little bit behave differently in everyone's house. But today, paper mache, what you need to do today is you're going to get a jar of any sorts or container that has a lid on it that you will store this discard into the fridge. So what we are doing is called the discarding part of it. You're going to just go ahead and dump out, I'd say about most of it. You're going to leave, you know, a quarter cup in there, whatever. There's no exact thing in here. We just need to leave some in there and discard this part. So this is just old discard. I'm just going to put the lid on. We're going to go ahead and put it in the fridge. And then what we need to do today with this stuff that's in here is we're going to do exactly what we did yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and pour in about our cup of flour. Very messily. And your half a cup of water, give or take. Remember, it's doesn't have to be, it's not exact. We're not measuring or weighing things out, anything's grams. That's not how I roll. Let's go make it easy for us. So it's a little too thick. Look at that. That's too thick. I would not want to see anybody's starter looking like that. So we're going to go ahead and add in a little bit more water. Give it a good stir. Introducing the new flour and water into what we started yesterday, which when you're adding the water and the flour and it's kind of like activating it and coming alive, I guess, for lack of a better word, but that way it's activating it and that's telling itself to start grabbing the yeast from the air by putting the water and the flour together. So we're just going to leave it like this. I'm actually going to add a little bit more water to it. I just don't have it right here with me, but I'm going to a little thinner than this. So that's day number 2. I'm going to scrape it down. This is where it starts to get a little messier all the time. So a lot of times I'll just take my finger and just kind of rub it along here just to keep it off of that part. And then go ahead and just put your coffee filter or cloth or whatever you got. You're going to put that on top of it. And you're going to set that aside as well. Now this discard that we're going to get rid of here, this needs to go in the fridge. So we're going to put this in the fridge. If you decide for some odd reason that you don't want it or you find it in your fridge later on, do not dump that down your drain. Your drain and septic will be very upset with you because, like I said, it's paper mache basically. It's flour and water, right? We've seen the cool things that paper mache can do. We do not want it to do it to our drains itself. So we're going to put that in the fridge. We're going to do the same exact process for the next several days, and then I'll come back with a new video and we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to talk about the discard. I'm going to talk about the difference between this kind of discard and the future type of discard. I'm also going to say what are we going to do with this? We're accumulating all this stuff in the fridge. What are we going to do with it? Talk about the how certain recipes that I like, and just kind of like discard in general. So that'll be a big video about all about the discard. So we'll talk about that in a few days. But today, just go ahead and remix and get that on the counter. And I know sitting stuff on your counter can also be kind of odd thing to do, but really that's just like, you know, back in the old days, right? That's what they would do. There's no refrigeration and people weren't so bleached and scared and all this stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and leave this on the counter, let it do its job, and it's working for us already. So good job on doing day number 2. Send me a picture of your starter and what yours looks like. I'm interested to see everybody's.